Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today I have a final results video for you guys just to clear up and just to let y'all know what happened. So obviously one of my last few videos I talked about me going on an 8-week cut or shred. I did say I wanted to check in bi-weekly, and to be honest with you, something happened during this shred that I wasn't expecting, nor was I didn't think a lot about, and I kind of should have. And it's not an excuse. It actually probably would have been cool to have filmed these updates bi-weekly, like I said, with this unexpected factor. But it kind of like hit me really fast, and these 8 weeks went by fast. You guys, 8 weeks, two sets of 4 weeks. That's 2 months, and I can't believe that 8 weeks have already come and gone. We are at the start of November. I don't know where Halloween went. I can't believe Thanksgiving is around the corner. I'm not ready for Christmas. Some of my neighbors have their lights up, and I feel like I'm hyperventilating because this time of year is always crazy. I know I mentioned that before, but it's never any less of a surprise every year. So I'm just really busy right now with work and everything, and I didn't find the time to film my bi-weekly updates. I tried, and I would like film part of it, and then I would get so caught up in other things that I never finished filming the other half. So by the time I was gonna film that and then edit it, blah, blah, blah. And I hate saying this because I hate making excuses. I'm a big believer that you can fit anything into your life or day if you make the time for it. And I'm just gonna be honest, I didn't make the time for it. So here we are. But I wasn't gonna leave you guys hanging. I have to obviously film the final results and let you guys know a little bit about what I experienced, what I went through, and it was kind of crazy in a way. But along with that, I'm also going to be doing a little review in this video. You guys know I am a big fan of Gauge Girl Training. Christine from Gauge Girl Training really helped me at the beginning of my whole fitness journey, and I'll always give her credit for helping me get in tune with my fitness goals and my understanding of nutrition and counting macros and my body type and all that good stuff that a lot of us really don't look into when we are planning on wanting to lose weight or get fit, whatever it may be. So I really owe a lot to her, her Instagram, her YouTube, for just putting out educational information. So Christine has now launched a supplement line. This is Gauge Life Nutrition Supplements, and she was so kind to let me try out her Whey Protein and her collagen. I'm a big fan of collagen. I've become a big fan over the past year or so. So I was like, I gotta try the collagen peptides. I gotta try the protein because we always need protein, right? So I'll give you guys a little bit of my review of these two products, what I like about them, what I don't like about them, how I use them, and all that good stuff. But let's get down to the meat of this video. I know you guys want to know, okay, Kat, so here was your 8-week shred. How'd you do? What'd you find? Whatever. So I'm gonna give you guys the rundown one more time of where I started off this 8-week shred and where we ended up after 8 weeks. So starting this shred, I was about 128 pounds. I have here on my notes when I weighed myself 8 weeks ago that I weighed in at 127.5 pounds. And I took measurements, and I will show the difference in measurements on screen, and I'll talk about them here. So after 8 weeks, just a recap, I cut my calories down by 10%, and really it was mainly just my carbs. For the first 4 weeks, I was lowering them 10%, 10%, 10%, and then week 5 through 8, I went all the way down to my lowest point that I wanted to keep my carbs at. So at the end of it all, I was eating, and I'm still currently eating right now because I haven't upped anything just yet, 120 grams of protein, 122 grams of carbs, and 45 grams of fat. So that's putting me at about 1380 calories a day. So where I'm at now at the end of it all. So I weighed in at 124.5. So you're looking at about a 3 to 4 pound weight loss. I'm around there. So it's definitely not a lot. It's nothing crazy. It's kind of actually what I was expecting. I really was expecting to lose about 5 pounds throughout this whole thing, only because I knew I wasn't really starting off with a whole lot of body fat to lose anyway. But I took it very slow in the beginning. So the majority of my weight loss really did happen towards the last half of this cut. So even though the scale didn't move down a whole lot, which I'm okay with, I definitely see visual changes in my clothes and in photos. So measurements are your best friend, because measurements are going to really tell you where you shrunk in size, whatever. So let's get to the measurements. So arms, my arms, unflexed bicep, 10.5 inches. Now at the end of this cut, we are at 9.75. So 9 3/4. So definitely lost on my arms. And you guys, I can actually see it. Like, it's weird. I guess once you start paying really close attention to your body and stuff, and I've gone through phases of cuts and bulking, maintaining, whatever, you really see like these small changes. Also in my face, obviously there's no way to measure your face, but I definitely see the thinning out of my cheeks and stuff throughout the course of this shred. So waist, the waist, you guys, was shocking to me. I was like, whoa, I didn't actually expect to shrink this much. So my waist measured at 27.5 inches at the beginning. I am now at 26. So I lost a whole inch and a half on my waist. And again, I can definitely feel it. I'm wearing some like jean shorts right now. Then like they for sure feel extra comfortable. Hips, I was at 37.5 inches. Right now I'm at 37. And these next measurements, I don't like to see a big change in measurement, because usually when it comes to like my lower body, the lower half, like your hips, your calves, your thighs, definitely want to keep muscle mass in those areas. So I tend to always monitor to make sure that, especially my calves and my hips, that it's not going down too much, because if it is, I start to get concerned that it's not so much even body fat, but muscle loss. So that's definitely something that I try to avoid at all costs when on any type of deficit. So hips are now 37, so only lost about half an inch. It is expected to lose, obviously, but not too much, so I'm happy with that. Thighs, I was at 23. Here I'm at 22.5, also lost about half an inch. And calves were at 13 at the beginning and are 13 still now. As you guys can tell, there are obvious results. Now I'm gonna put up photos on screen to show you guys the final results, side-by-side photo comparisons. So there, you can definitely see that my midsection really flattened out. I feel like my waist got tightened up again. I feel like you can see it in my back where my sports bra, it's not really pinching or cinching like the underarm fat and stuff like that. I'm actually really happy with my results. I was contemplating if I should continue this cut for about 2 to 4 more weeks. I don't know just yet if I will. I'm also contemplating if I just want to skip right to just maintaining and start to up my calories a little bit again. I'm also contemplating if I want to go into any type of bulk. So I don't really know just yet, but I'm going to figure it out to see how I feel. So let me share with you guys a little bit about what threw me off during this cut and what kind of took me by surprise. And like I said, I should have known, but it just didn't cross my mind. So a little background information. When I started my initial fitness journey almost 2 years ago, and I lost like about 30 pounds, and then I went through different phases of bulking, maintaining, and all that, like how I mentioned before, I was on birth control. So my hormones were being, regulated and everything with birth control. And this year I decided to go off of my birth control only because we are hoping to have kids in the near future, and I just kind of wanted to get my body off of it already, just to kind of regulate itself. So I got off of my birth control in May of this year. So it's been a few months, and during the time that I was taking the pill, I would only have my period about every 3 months or so. So getting off of it, it took a while for my period to start regulating again. And now at this point, I am finally getting back in sync to having my period. I believe my cycle is every 28 days. So this is the first time I've ever been on a cut where I've actually have had my period like regularly. And I know to some you're like, okay, and like there's people who diet and have their period regularly too. And yes, that is very true. But the difference of being in a cut or deficit or any type of fitness goals when your menstrual cycle isn't every month to where it is every month now, there's actually a huge difference, at least that I experienced. So since my cut was 8 weeks long, that means I went through 2 menstrual cycles during this cut. And oh my gosh, okay, so really what made it, I don't want to say more difficult, but I guess, yeah, I'll just use that term. What made it more difficult was that my period symptoms were strong in the sense that like I haven't really experienced them in a deficit. So when you're being restricted on like, okay, I'm eating only so many carbs and only so many calories a day, my cravings during my period were like so much more intense than like I've had to deal with for the past couple of years, and then what I remembered even before I was on birth control. So like that week before I had my period, my cravings were really, really intense. I felt like it was harder for me to not give into them, and I did give into them for the majority. And just so you guys know, when I crave something, it's never sweets or anything like that. I always crave like salty stuff. I want chips, I want cheese, I want like anything sour. I will want like sour candy and stuff like that. So just like that salt craving was intense. So due to that, and also just again, normal, menstrual symptoms, my bloating during like that week before my period was intense. I felt like, I was like, man, like I even had to think like, is my cut even being effective? But then I remembered like, whoa, girl, like you're about to actually start your period. Like you're just bloating, like, and it's totally normal. So I wanted to mention that because I feel like, there are some of us out there who are on birth control. There are some of us who aren't, whatever. And it actually plays, I feel like, a big effect in your fitness goals. So I honestly want to say like a big tip to any of you that are like trying to lose weight or whatever, and you like are having your period regularly, or just your hormones are, I don't know, active. I don't know what the correct term is because I'm not a doctor or anything. But basically what I'm trying to say is I would highly suggest not measuring, not getting on the scale, anything like that when you are around your time of the month. Only because the numbers can be so far off from what like you really are because of the bloating, water retention, and all of that. And honestly, sometimes you just feel like gross. I know ladies, like you can relate to what I'm talking about here. Like to others, you may look like totally normal and fine, but for some reason when you look in the mirror, whatever, you're just like, God, I'm just like, ugh, right now. I don't know. It's just our hormonal thing, right? So anyways, I would just highly suggest to not pay attention to anything like that when you are on a weight loss journey or cut, whatever, just at least during the time of the month. It can be really, really discouraging, and I just would say like, don't pay attention too much to it during like that week or whatever. So yeah, that's kind of also why I didn't do this bi-weekly thing, because during one of those times I was on my period and I was like, oh, like I don't want to do a check-in right now because my numbers are gonna look like I haven't done shit really. I felt like it, my measurements felt like it, I was bloated. So yeah, that's kind of why. Again, it's not really an excuse, and maybe I should have, because it would have filmed like some sort of like real side to it, but that's definitely why I wanted to mention it in this video, just to give you guys that heads up. But like I said, all in all, I'm really happy with my results. I'll keep you guys informed on social media if I decide to continue this cut or not, but that's what we did. I'm kind of thinking like, what do I want to do? Because the holidays are coming up and, girl wants to enjoy them. But anyways, so now I want to tell you guys a little bit about these products, and I actually did use them during a good portion of this cut. So first off, the one I'm going to talk about is the protein. So this is from Gauge Life Supplements, like I mentioned earlier. This is their whey protein. This is a whey isolate protein, which, just by the way, if you're taking a protein, I like protein shakes not really for meal replacement purposes, but for like after workouts, and if I just need to get protein or something in my system fast to help recover or replenish. This is where whey isolate shakes really come in handy, because isolate protein goes through your system a lot faster. So if you're using isolate as a meal replacement, you're gonna be super hungry right away anyways. But to just kind of get something in your system to help replenish after a workout, so that way you don't have any type of like muscle breakdown or whatever, I would suggest an isolate, because like I said, it's gonna go through your system really fast. It's gonna get to, you know, help recovery a lot faster. So I am trying her chocolate flavor, and the flavor of this, I'm gonna be honest, it's not my favorite, only because I do like my shakes to be relatively sweet. I know not everyone likes that. So if you're someone who doesn't like a super sweet shake, I would actually look into this, because these are not sweet at all. I've tried several protein shakes at this point, and I had to say that this one definitely ends on the not so sweet end of the spectrum. So the way I like to eat or drink this particular brand is definitely with unsweetened vanilla almond milk, half a frozen banana to add a little bit extra sweetness, and sometimes I'll throw in some PB2 powder just to add, again, a little bit of extra flavor. For me personally, I wouldn't like this with just milk or just water and shaken. It wouldn't be my jam, just being honest. But other than that, the actual effect of the protein I felt like was adequate, and I feel like it has good macros. I'll read them to you. So it's 110 calories per serving, which is 1 scoop. And that's 1 gram of fat, 2 grams of carbs, and 24 grams of protein. So here, I'll read off the product features. It's all natural, gluten-free, vegetarian-friendly, manufactured here in the US of A, 24 grams of proteins per serving, 1 gram of carb, less than a gram of fat per serving, 5 grams of BCAAs, no artificial sweeteners, no artificial flavoring, no banned substances, and no aspartame. So is it my favorite flavor or tasting protein? No, I'll be honest. But was it good? Yes. And it also didn't upset my stomach, which I don't know, for some reason, every time that's what I pay really close attention to when it comes to shakes, is how it kind of, you know, settles in my tummy. Now, this product, on the other hand, is up there for me. Okay, so this is the Gauge Life Prime Collagen Peptides. Oh, you guys, I love this shit so much. And you're gonna be like, okay, why? And the reasons, you're probably gonna be like, huh? But once you start taking collagen, you'll notice. So I have actually been using collagen supplements for pretty much almost like since the beginning of this year. I started off with a different brand earlier, and then I was continuing to use that one. Then Christine was like, hey, you know, you wanna give this a try? I was like, sure, girl, give me the collagen. So anyways, what I like about collagen peptides, most of them, is that they're flavorless. It comes in a powder form. I don't know if you guys can see there. I'm literally I'm almost done with this. I have about a third left. It comes in powder form, which means you can pretty much throw it in any beverage. What I like to do is kind of like divide the serving up throughout my day, and I'll put some in my coffee, I'll put some in my water, I'll put some like in my shakes, I'll put some in my BCAAs when I'm working out. So I get to kind of spread it throughout the day, which I feel like it's easier to drink than trying to like get 1 whole scoop down every day. Like, I don't know, that's just how I like to do it. So it's 1 scoop a day, it's 90 calories, but before you're like, oh my God, why am I adding calories? You guys, it's 20 grams of protein. So you're also getting, you know, protein from drinking this. So what is collagen, right? So I'll read you guys on the back here that this protein is perfect for: supports joints and bones, mixes easily, it has muscle growth benefits, it supports digestion, healthy skin and hair, and it's flavorless and odorless. So let's back it up. Every time we hear collagen, we usually think of what collagen means to ladies, which is like, oh, collagen, my skin is gonna be great, my hair is gonna be great, my nails are gonna grow, I'm not gonna have wrinkles, because we produce collagen, right, in our skin and in our bodies. But not only does it have all of those beauty benefits, again, collagen is used to build so many different things in our bodies. It supports our gut health, it supports our joints and our bones. So you're also gonna be helping a whole lot of things. If you guys have like stomach issues, I would definitely look into maybe taking a collagen supplement. I know Christine has a whole video on her channel about why collagen can help support gut health and any issues you may have with that. So definitely check out that video. I'll link it down below. And again, I feel like nothing about this upset my stomach, although nothing really should, considering what it's made out of. It's lactose-free, dairy-free, soy-free, gluten-free, grain-free. It's keto-friendly, Whole30 approved. No artificial sweeteners, artificial flavoring, banned substances, aspartame. It's also manufactured in the US, and yeah, it's all good stuff. So that wraps up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys maybe took something away from it and any of the information I gave about this current cut or shred. Like I said, if I continue to go on this shred for a little bit more time, or I don't know what my next move is, I think I might just stay at maintenance for a while, but whatever it is, I'll definitely keep you guys updated on my socials. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, on Twitter as well. And yeah, that's basically it. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.